Yeah, we're gonna bring it down like this, y'all. I'm gonna let my man Parappa know that noodles rule the world. Yeah, that little slippery thing tastes so good all the time. Yeah, that's right. It goes a little something like this. Stay with me now, here we go.
Like this.
In parentheses, let me stress the fact clearly. No matter what the deal, I crave for this dearly. The so-called noodles that you find in spaghetti are sweeter than idols, do damage like machetes. Without a doubt, I got the flow coming at you live. Bring the place alive every single day I jive. With the thought comes my direct actions. Ask my followers, they'll say it's an addiction. Slurp it, suck it, I know you all like it.
Slurp it, suck it, I know we all like it.
Smell it, taste it, pasta in the market.
Smell it, taste it, fruit in a basket.
Chinese, Italian, Thai, or Jamaican.
Mexican, Egyptian, English, Korean.
Anything goes, even Hawaiian.
Anything goes, even Alaskan.
Long and chewy, occasionally gooey. The best things in life taste good, we'll chop suey. 8 minutes to boil and 2 minutes to eat. Admit it, kid, you know noodles can't be beat.
What happened? What's going on? What happened?
Roll it on your spoon, create your own boom.
Roll it on my spoon, create my own boom.
I bet you didn't know noodles the rule.
I bet I didn't know there are no rules.
Sushi, burgers, they all taste good.
Pizza, burritos, they all taste good.
As long as they got noodles, the king of all food.
As long as they love food, then anything's cool.
Hip-hop music with an old school twist. I keep the place intact, I do a rap like this. You can use a spoon, fork, knife, or even chopsticks. Come on, kid, get down with the mix. N-O-O-D-L-E-S.
C-O-O-K-I-E-S.
Great tasting pasta, blow to your chest.
Great tasting sweets, blow to my chest.
Ramen, udon, soba, you name it.
Brownies, a pie, a shake, you name it.
Any type of noodles you like, yes, I got it.
Any type of sweets you like, yes, I got it.
Whatever your thoughts may be, I'm bound to be the king of all foods with my noodles as the key. Full of pride and glory, way up above. Cause here I come, y'all, full of noodles and love. Noodles are the best, no doubt, can't deny. Taste better than water, but don't ask me why.
Noodles are the best, no doubt, can't deny. Taste better than water, but don't ask you why.
But then again, many things can be tasty. Cornbread, potatoes, rice, and even pastries.
But then again, many things can be tasty. Cornbread, potatoes, rice, and even pastries.
Then why do I love noodles so dearly? It makes no sense, I must have sounded really eerie.
Then why do you love noodles so dearly? It makes no sense, you must have sounded real eerie.
Thanks, brother, for letting me understand that a man must understand to keep his options open.
Welcome, brother, for letting you understand that a man must understand and keep his options open. See? Noodles aren't the only food around, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I'm up for some noodle sushi.
Welcome to XVGM Radio, where the bits keep coming. I'm Mike.
And I'm Justin.
And this is episode 88, April Fool's Day.
That's not really what's the April Fool's about this?
I don't know. I don't know. We're playing some silly songs.
All right. Oh, okay.
We're having a good time. We're chilling out.
Is that your April Fool's plan, to make noodles rule the world?
Absolutely. Noodles really should rule the world.
I prefer
cornbread,
sushi and
potatoes,
cornbread, and rubbing it on my spoon.
Creating your own boom. Oh, man. So we opened up with Parappa the Rapper 2. It's not Parappa the Rapper. Parappa the Rapper. I always thought it was Parapper the Rapper.
No,
it's Parappa the Rapper 2.
Yeah.
Came out on the PS2 in 2001. This track was Noodles Can't Be Beat, composed by Masaya Matsuda, Yoshihisa Suzuki, Naoto Sugai, and Ryo Watanabe.
I think Rodney Greenblatt did a little bit of the music as well for like the cutscenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously the creator of Parappa the Rapper.
Right, yeah. Well, him and Masaya.
Yep.
Were the two creators of it. So yeah, I actually got to host a panel with him involved. It was like a question and answer thing.
Matsura? Greenblatt?
Yeah, Rodney Greenblatt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And of course I had to ask him Parappa 3, and he was like, I wish. Pretty much. So.
It's sad because, rhythm games are so popular now. Like Dance Dance Revolution is still making songs, and they had this huge boom of rhythm games where Parappa could have just rode that wave.
Ruled the world.
And now it's just like noodles, man.
Yeah.
But just like noodles, they all got slurped down, and
That's
now
it.
it's not as popular.
Slurp it,
as
suck
it
it.
was.
I know you all like it.
So,
Smell it, taste it. Pasta in the market. I love that he just does this 180. For the whole plot of this game is this dude wants noodles to rule the world. That's pretty much it. So he's like converting everything into noodles somehow. I forget how. Parappa's like, oh, I'm gonna sing and dance or rap about this with random people and eventually make my way to defeat him or whatever.
Yeah.
So you meet up with him towards the end of the game, and he just does like towards the end of the song, all of a sudden he just does this complete 180 where he's just like, oh, wait a minute, other things taste good too. Okay, never mind.
Well, that's the power of Parappa's rap.
Right.
Parappa's rapping about all these other foods which are good.
Yeah.
And it slowly, like, brainwashes. What's his name? Noodle Man? I don't even know what his name was.
I forget.
But,
Yeah.
But it's like the most anticlimactic ending of a game ever. It's like, oh, okay.
I just love the beginnings. That little slippery thing tastes so good all the time. Oh, man. Just there's so many weird innuendos with this song and with this game's music in general. Which is weird because it's like a kid's rhythm game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but like you were saying while we were listening to the song, the multiplayer version is a great party game as well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's just it's not even about like actually trying to play the game like and win. I just try to make the most messed up, jacked up rap.
Just try to screw up your opponent by
Right.
making them laugh too hard.
There's a part where he says sushi, burgers, they all taste good, and depending on what button you press for the face buttons, he'll say whatever. Like he'll just say sushi, sushi, sushi.
Yeah,
sushi.
I just remember my brother going, burgers, burgers,
Yep.
burgers,
Yep.
over and over.
The burger breakdown, man. That's how you got to do it. Yep. So fun game, great soundtrack. All the music is just like rap and funk and stuff like that. It's all really good. I mean, I love that like 70s disco and funk era. That's my jam.
For sure. And then if you're not a funk and rap fan and you're more on the rock side, you can do Jammer Lammy.
That's right.
Same kind of game, different genre of music.
Yeah.
Equally as good.
You know, I found that Jammer Lammy and the first Parappa, you cannot really play them on newer consoles. You kind of have to play them on the PS1.
Timing is all off.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It's so weird because I have Jammer Lammy on PS1. I don't have the first Parappa for whatever reason. I never really got in, like I played the demo of it in Toys R Us, but like I never picked it up for whatever reason. But I did pick up Jammer Lammy and I did pick up Parappa 2 when I got a PS2. And it plays fine on the PS2, but if you try to play Jammer Lammy or Parappa 1 on the PS2, forget it.
Yeah.
It's just like impossible to play, which is so weird.
Something with the emulation in it just doesn't work out. And even newer systems, if you try to play it on HD TV,
like a PS3.
There's no adjustment for that lag.
Right.
So you really got to stick with the CRT on this one.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of like birds squawking at you and yeah.
And then Parappa going, oh.
Yeah.
as you fail the level.
Yep. Oh boy. So that's Parappa. Let's get into the composers real quick. So Masaya Matsuda started off with The Seven Colors Legend of Sai City in 1993. Never heard of it. Metamore Jupiter in 93. And then he just started working on games like Parappa, Jammer Lammy, Parappa 2, Vib Ripple in 2004.
The sequel to Vib Ribbon.
Yes. And then Major Minor's Majestic March, and then the PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. I think that's just because of the music from Parappa. Yoshihisa Suzuki only has 3 titles, Jammer Lammy, Parappa 2, and that last game that I talked about, Major Minor. Naoto Sugai has 1 additional credit, Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg in 2003.
Yeah. Okay.
Did drums on that specifically.
Neat.
And then there's one other game, Aito Yujo no Neko Monogatari, Jingle Cats Love Paradise-kusen in 98, and he's credited for Diamond Head, like the band? I don't know.
Maybe it's the name of the track that he composed.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. But that's not to say that these composers are like just these 3 games and that's it.
Right,
because
right.
They're anime composers and rap composers in their own right. They have lots of commercial music.
This is just video games.
Yeah.
Right. Final composer, Ryo Watanabe, has a pretty big list, so we'll just start with, we'll do 3 games. Ace Combat 6, Fires of Liberation in 2007, did sound design working on Nobi Nobi Boy in 2009. Latest game, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown in 2019.
So he's a Namco guy.
Yes, yeah, Namco.
Yeah, Nobi Boy was an offshoot of Katamari.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's move into our next pick on this weird and wacky journey through VGM. I think it's going to be your pick, Justin. What do you plan?
So for my first pick, we're going to play Radio Free Zerg from StarCraft Brood Wars, composed by Tracy W. Bush, Jason Hayes, and Glenn Stafford.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Serve the Hive. I control the groove. Serve the Hive. I control the groove. Serve the Hive. I control the way you move. How you like my groove, Dagoff? Well done. Serve the Hive. Feel the groove. I control the way you move. I got the skills. Serve the Hive. Feel the groove. I control the way you move. Overmind has got the skills.
Welcome back. That was StarCraft Brood Wars. Came out on the PC and the Mac in 1998. The track was Radio Free Zerg, composed by Tracy W. Bush, Jason Hayes, and or Glenn Stafford. What'd you think, Mike?
Talk about a change from my Parappa pick.
I mean, a little different.
little bit. Well, we're going from hip hop to like industrial meets sultry dance music. It like really oscillates between the two of them.
Yeah, it struggles to pick a genre.
Yeah, but that's kind of StarCraft music anyway.
I mean, yeah. I feel like most StarCraft music is more atmospheric, but this is one of the, in line with the silly episode that we have going on, this is the silly track from Brood Wars. You could type a cheat in the console, and it would play this song.
Oh, okay.
Similar to, I think on the Justin's Picks episode that we did, I played a track called I'm a Medieval Man from Warcraft 2, and it was the same thing. You could type into the console, and it would play this really silly song sung by like a human knight about stupid stuff.
Gotcha. So this is supposed to kind of like emulate so Zerg free radio. So it'd be like emulating what the Zerg would be listening to on their headphones as they attack the humans or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
I gotcha.
So it opens up with the Overmind, giving his little speech, and then for those who don't play StarCraft or don't know, the Overmind is technically what you play as when you're playing the Zerg. I think you're actually playing as one of like the Overmind's commanders, but the Overmind controls all of the Zerg. So.
Right, so that's the hive they reference in the...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool. Decent track. Well produced. I haven't played any StarCraft at all, so but I know enough because it's such a popular game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you played any Blizzard RTS, Warcraft or anything, you've technically played StarCraft. It's Warcraft 2 with a different skin. It came out around the same time. Warcraft in space, that's what we used to call it.
Makes sense.
But,
Makes sense.
Yeah. My friends and I, back in high school, used to play StarCraft a lot, and I like a lot of the music from it, and this track, along with I'm a Medieval Man and a few other ones from Blizzard games, I used to have on like a mixed CD. And it sounds kind of good in the car if you crank the bass up, but I haven't listened to the song in quite a while, and I never actually realized, like, there are areas of it that just kind of feel empty. And I don't know how I kind of processed that when I was younger, but re-listening to it now, it's just weird because, I mean, with all the other music that we listen to on this show, I'm used to either things being straight up wacky, really, really in your face, like a lot of stuff that you pick tends to be, kind of heavy or just like really frenetic. I mean, I picked some really frenetic stuff too, but this one, like, it starts out, like you said, really dancey, kind of industrial dancey, and then towards the end, it kind of floats on.
You know a good way to fill those kind of empty spaces you were talking about? Slurp some noodles.
Noodles, yep.
Just rub them on your spoon, roll them around, make them go boom.
Slurp them down.
Slurp them down. Then you don't have to worry about the Zerg anymore because you'll be full of noodles and you won't even care.
That's true.
Just turn the Zerg into noodles. Zergles.
Zergles. But yeah, these composers. So I will say for this track, I believe Tracy W. Bush is the composer. Generally, when I look this track up online, Tracy W. Bush is the only name I find on it. The other two composers may have composed for other tracks in the game, but we'll go through them all real quick because they deserve their credit. So Tracy W. Bush started in the way back of 1998 doing music for StarCraft. They started with the demo version, moved on to StarCraft and Brood War. They did Warcraft 2, Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, and then moved on to things like EverQuest 2, Sentinel's Fate in 2010, Run Roo Run in 2012. They did sound effects, and most recently they did legacy themes composed in World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth in 2018. Jason Hayes started out as well on StarCraft. Also did, I think we talked about this once, Police Quest SWAT 2 in 1998. Possibly in the Sierra episode with Brian.
That would make sense.
Yes. It's a Sierra game. Rock and Roll Racing in 2014, they did PC music. They also did World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth in 2018. And then our last buddy here, Glenn Stafford, started out in 1993 with the Lost Vikings, doing sound on that, and then they did all of the early Blizzard games, Warcraft Orcs and Humans, the original Warcraft game in 94, Blackthorn in 94, Warcraft 2, StarCraft, Diablo 2, Warcraft 3, all the good stuff, and same most recent credit in 2018 for WoW.
Nice. You also forgot to mention that Tracy W. Bush is the twin sibling of my favorite president, George W. Bush.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
They
Mike Levy's favorite president, George W. Bush.
We've talked about this many times before, and it's the one thing I hate about you.
That's one thing I hate about myself, to be honest. You know what I hate more than George W. Bush?
What's that?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because my next song is called I Love Hamburgers.
Ham's theme. Got it.
Yeah, not as good as Noodles, but better than George W. Bush.
Okay.
Yeah, this one's from Bust a Groove. It was released on the PS1 in 1998, composed by Hiroshi Kobayashi.
Nice.
Travel across the world, we're in the seven seas. All beef patty on a sesame bun. I love the taste too much, can never stop that one. It's got the juicy taste to put a smile on your face. Hamburger lovers, let me hear you say ho! 1, 2, 3, or even 7. On this double cheese when I get up to heaven. When you're feeling sad and alone, your mood is kind of blue. Eat a lot of burgers, that's all you gotta do. Start feeling more great. Waits great, but here to go, it really doesn't matter, bro. Hamburger lovers, let me hear you say ho. Let there be no mistake of the point I'm trying to make on my burger to keep my burger not a kid. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good.
Don't you even try. Don't you go and tell me what cheeseburger over me and my sex about. You gotta be crazy.
Look here, big guy, listen here. I need a cheeseburger, make me feel good at night.
Well, then you're gonna have to leave it alone. I ain't even up for that.
Oh, come on, baby, come on. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good. Very, 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 very good.
Hey, welcome back. That was my next pick, which was Bust a Groove, that came out on the PS1 in 1998. That track was really, 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 really good. Really, 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 really good. The song was actually called I Love Hamburgers. It's also known as Ham's Theme, and it was by Hiroshi Kobayashi. What do you think of that one, Justin?
I thought it was pretty okay. I definitely love the funkiness of that track, but I will admit I was a bit thrown off by the vocals.
Yeah, no, not a fan.
Yeah, not really, no.
I'm a big fan of ridiculous, goofy vocals, and since this is our April Fool's Day episode, I figured I'd throw some ridiculous vocals in the fire. This game follows up after Parappa. First track that I played, the intro was the Parappa 2. This game series, Bust a Groove, was kind of like something that came out shortly after that because rhythm games were starting to get really big with DDR and Parappa and everything. And so Bust a Groove is kind of like a mix between a music game and a fighting game. There's various different levels, which all have different types of music, but what happens is, as the beat is playing, there's arrows that pop up that you can press on the D-pad, as well as the symbols like circle or the X button or whatever. It's on PS1. Every fourth beat, you have to match the commands. If you do, then it completes a dance move, almost like a dance-off. It's almost like a Zoolander kind of thing. If you miss, then a combo gets done on your player. They also have these things called jammers, which is like an attack that can interrupt, almost like a combo breaker, sort of. And they're different for every level. So this one, for example, there's a giant hamburger that squishes the opponent, and the whole theme of this is this character Ham. He used to be a great dancer, but his love for junk food has left him large and in charge, I guess you could say. He became a hamburger joint employee to satisfy his craving for junk food, and he wants to use the Groovetron to help him diet. Also, his favorite word is move. I don't know why that's important, but it is. There's also a hidden character called Burger Dog in this level. I guess there's a bunch of hidden characters. And the Burger Dog is the dog that runs the restaurant in Ham stage. You can unlock him by playing the game on medium difficulty or higher with Ham. So if you play with Ham, you beat it, then you can unlock it if it's medium or higher difficulty. And his jammer is a giant hamburger that squishes the opponent. So this game is ridiculous, as you can tell. Have you played this one?
No, I have not, and I just thought about it. I don't think I would like it very much. I mean, I think I would rather play with my collection of googly-eyed pet rocks.
Oh yeah.
Do you know I own the world's largest collection of googly-eyed pet rocks, right?
I did not know that about you. No, that's really interesting. How long have you been collecting those?
Oh, since I was 5.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's really cool. Well, I guess there's some things that you learn about your co-host that you didn't expect to learn, but that's very interesting. I guess we'll talk about the composer since we kind of maxed out on Bust a Groove. I haven't played this one, but it sounds really fun, and I bet George W. Bush would really like it too. So Hiroshi Kobayashi.
I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he really seems like a music games fan. Hiroshi Kobayashi started off with Contra 3: The Alien Wars, doing sound effects, and so obviously starting off as a Konami guy. Rocket Knight Adventures was his follow-up, and then he worked on games like Lethal Enforcers, doing sound design in Castlevania Chronicles. Jumped around quite a bit until, let's see, it looks like he left Konami and started working for Metro Corporation. That's the company that did Bust a Groove. He also did an Ultraman game, which was, again, Metro Corporation. So it sounds like he just left Konami and went on to do this stuff. His final game was another music-based game, which is Britney's Dance Beat, which I know you're a huge fan of.
It's my second favorite game ever.
Really? What's your first favorite game of all time?
Elmo's Letter Adventure on N64.
Nice. That's a good one. That's a classic. Delicious. Anyways, let's get into your next pick. What do you got coming up next?
I wanted to bring this track from Battle Block Theater. It's the Secret Area.
Oh, nice.
You're going to like it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I've heard this one before. This is the Xbox 360 game that came out in, I think, 2013. I believe that Will Stamper did the song, but not the entire soundtrack. So we're just going to talk about this song and go from there. Cool.
It's a secret. Now you're talking.
Welcome back from that wiggity wacky track. That was Battle Block Theater, the 2013 release on the Xbox 360. The track was Secret Area, and it was sung, beatboxed, and generally made up by Will Stamper. Mike, you are always one for wacky, silly tracks. What were your thoughts on this one?
Oh, I absolutely loved it. Probably top 5 of all time.
Understandable. I mean, if you had to compare this with Global Gladiators and Savage, how would you rank those 3 tracks?
Well, it makes both of those tracks look like just a bunch of noise. I mean, you can't live up to the perfection that is the Secret Area from Battle Block Theater.
I completely agree. I heard this song once and immediately knew I had to play it in this episode. I think there's a few other episodes that we could probably have slipped it into, but it just, what better than April Fools and just general silliness?
You're only fooling yourself if you think that that track is horrible.
Absolutely. It's just the right level of silly. And I mean, I know it doesn't have any of your like favorite orchestral stings or like super compressed PCM samples, but it's just with all the beatboxing, especially towards the end where they start making the chicken noises and the clucking, I know I lost it at that point. So do you have any experience with this game? Have you played Battle Block Theater at all?
I have not. It is one of those games that I would totally be interested in, especially loving Castle Crashers. I mean, that game was pretty fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, same. I think it's the same production company. Yeah. So it totally makes sense. I wasn't as big on Castle Crashers. I think at the time it came out, I was just a little burnt out on beat 'em ups. But I've played Castle Crashers a number of times, and as long as I'm playing with friends, it's always been a blast. But Battle Block Theater is just. It's a level of surreal that I wasn't expecting. So I've played this with my wife back when we were dating and I was living in an apartment on my own. She'd come down and we'd play this on the Xbox 360 and a game called Okuyabu on the PS3. They were both fun little cooperative games. But I can't even remember the story of this game. I just remember it was very weird. It's something about like you're on a ship and you get shipwrecked on this island and there's hats and a guy named Hattie. Who I think is actually voiced by Will Stamper, and they're just trying to get you to do all these tasks throughout the island to like unlock different things and to get to different places. And unfortunately, we haven't beaten it, so I don't know what the end game is, but it has this weird like sinister air to it. Like they're asking you to do things and they're being all nice, but like there's something underneath the surface that just doesn't feel quite right. But it's presented in a very silly way. It's a lot of fun. I strongly recommend anybody who has access to get this game. If you like Castle Crashers and you like just like wacky little co-op games, it's quick, it's fun, it's really cute.
I absolutely agree with all that.
The aesthetic is the same as Castle Crashers. Oh, real quick to get this out of the way, there's not a whole lot to talk about as far as the composers go. Will Stamper is credited for this song. He is not credited for any of the other songs really on this game because this one, as I said when we came in, is just like Will Stamper being crazy. But he does have some other audio credits. He actually is credited for the music in Castle Crashers and Castle Crashers Remastered, which I didn't realize they did a remaster in 2015. The original Castle Crashers came out in 2008. And then he also provided voices for Pit People in 2017, which I have, and I think that's by the same group. I just realized it has the same kind of aesthetic to it. And again, it's got the multiplayer elements and a lot of really fun, interesting, weird bits and pieces. Anything else you'd like to add to this, Mike?
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of that time that I was offered a voice role on the Castlevania Netflix series, but I had to turn that down because it was taken away from my podcast time.
I don't remember that. Was that season 1? Was it 2018?
Yeah, I really didn't want to confess that to you, but I felt like now was the right time to throw it out on the table, let everybody know that I was bound to have a very successful voice acting career, and I just turned it down because I didn't want to give up on podcasting.
Honestly, I probably would have made the same decision. We do pretty well with podcasting. I mean, between this and your YouTube channel, you would have people lined up outside your door with pitchforks and torches if you just abandoned the scene. So, very wise decision.
Yeah, I realized I made a huge mistake.
Oh no. What do you have coming up for us next, Mike?
I was thinking about playing this pretty amazing track from one of the greatest video game systems of all time. I think you're pretty familiar with it. It's the title theme from Buck Bumble, Brickety Buck Bumble. You know that one?
Oh yeah, that was the 1998 game on the N64.
Oh yeah.
If I remember correctly, it was composed by Justin Charvona, and MC Cisco did the vocals on this, right?
Oh yeah, talented people.
Nice. Let's kick it off.
What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity buck bumble. What about now? It's time to rock with the biggity buck bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumble. Bump to the bump to the bump to the bass. Bump to the bump to the bumble. Bump to the boot to the boot to the boot boot. Bump to the bass to the bass bass. Bump to the boot to the boot to the boot. Bump to the bass to the bass bass. Bump to the boot to the bump to the bass. Bump to the boot the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the boot to the boot to the boot boot, bump to the bass bass, bump to the boot to the boot to the boot, bump to the bass bass. Bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the bump to the bump to the bass, bump to the bump to the bumper, bump to the boot to the boot to the boot boot, bump to the bass bass, bump to the boot to the boot to the boot, bump to the bass bass. Bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot to the bump to the boot to the bump to the bass, bump to the boot.
Hey, welcome back to our April Fool's Day episode. This track that we heard was Buck Bumble, the title theme, and it's the N64 game that came out in 1998. It's a shame it's never been ported elsewhere, Justin.
It is.
Yeah. And N64 stuff kind of rots on the N64 for the most part, in some rare exceptions.
I think anything that wasn't Rare was actually the exception on the N64. Wasn't it pretty much just Nintendo and Rare making games for that console?
Yeah, and Acclaim. So this one was composed by Justin Charvona and MC Cisco, who did the vocals. And no, it has nothing to do with like Cisco, Thong Song Cisco. His name is spelled totally different, Cisco. This song is so goofy. It's apparently a very big hit in Europe, or it was at the time. And they just kind of threw it in this game. Can you imagine going to clubs in Europe in like 1998 and hearing this song after playing Buck Bumble? Like, that would make my head explode.
It would be crazy. It seems like it wasn't until here pretty recently in the States that you could go to any club and hear any kind of video game music.
For sure.
Which it's kind of weird because a lot of video game music, people think of it as tangential to a lot of the music that, well, not the music I've heard in clubs because, I only went to the goth stuff with all my black polish and everything.
Right.
But, all the dance, the electronica.
You did like reverse.
I can't get enough of.
You did like reverse blackface, right? It was like goth face.
Goth
it was
face,
like
yeah.
all white
I
makeup.
actually coined that term.
Did you? Wow. Goth face?
That was my idea.
That's
Goth
impressive.
face.
Yeah.
It's really just because that's what all my friends called me, and so I just kind of owned it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was
Goth
now?
face.
Well, let me ask you this: was your name like Justin, and then in like parentheses like goth face Schneider?
Yeah, and then eventually even the Justin just kind of dropped off. I picked that back up a little bit later.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay, so
I
for
was
a
just
while
Goth
you were
Face
just
Schneider.
goth
That was my
face
thing.
Schneider. Wow, that's really cool.
I actually thought about going into pro wrestling for a while as goth face. But,
Really? You got the
and
build.
then,
You could do it, man.
Well, I started to have some kind of medical issues. I was actually going to say that I love this track. I can't get enough of it, but it's one of those tracks that you can't help but bump around to, bump and bumble around to.
Right.
Which is just it's kind of awkward. My hemorrhoids have been kind of flaring up, and so I'm not wearing
Sure.
any bottoms. That's TMI. And shimmying around in your chair is not too comfortable on leather. With
That's
nothing
true.
In between.
That's
So-
true. Wow.
But I love the song.
Yeah. I gotta say, just to comment on this track, because I remember back on my previous podcast, Pixel Tunes Radio, we played this one, and there was much debate about what is actually being said during the track. But Justin, you and I have sat down and re-researched it, and we found out that Ed was wrong about his, or at least our source that we found. I always thought he was saying like, it's the Mateula table or something like that. Ed corrected me and said they're apparently, he's saying le leche munda mula dip. But you researched something
Ed
different.
does like to correct people. It happens to me all the time on Arcane Machine.
That's true. That's true. Ed is a master corrector. He likes to correct people all the time. What's really weird about it, though, is that he's only correcting people with like 15% accurate information. It's weird. It's like this weird thing that he does where he'll be like, actually, there was this chip that existed in 1998, and it was called Brostitos, and that chip doesn't exist, nor did it ever. But man, he gave me such a hard time about that. Anyways, again, sidetrack.
And he can explain the exact flavor and texture and everything.
Oh, for sure.
It's really mind-blowing.
Yeah. Ed's
talent.
He's a character.
What are they actually saying?
Yeah,
what
so
did we find out they're actually saying?
They're actually saying hise mate ula a. And then, like, they follow it up with an A. So it's like, hise mate ula a. And then it's minima. It's the mate. I don't know. I still think he's saying it's the mate ula table.
I mean, hey, that's canon.
Right.
If we say it here on XVGM radio, then that's the way it is.
You know what, Godface? I'm down for that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Anyways.
That's right. That's the bottom line, because Godface said so.
That's it.
That's what my pet rock still calls me.
Oh, really?
He's actually Godface Jr. That's yeah.
Now that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. This game I've not played. It was, I remember seeing ads for it and being really hyped to play it, and I don't know why. I just remember seeing footage of it on probably IGN or something like that, and seeing pictures of it and stuff, and being like, oh man, I really want to play this game, but I never rented it, never played it. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't remember this even coming across my radar when I was growing up. It looks like something I would have been interested in, but I wonder how well it really worked, because it's kind of an off-rails flying shooter, like third-person perspective type thing. It looks like
Star Fox off rails, but then at the same time,
that can either work really well or really badly depending on how it's controlled.
Yeah, it's also if I recall, it's a bit open worldy in a way as well. Like you can kind of fly everywhere, and you've got all these various different missions and stuff. These bad guys that you got to kill or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not that important. It's a ridiculous song and it's a ridiculous game. You're playing as a bee, flying around, killing stuff with Uzis. So. That's it. That's all you need to know.
There you go.
We'll get into these composers real quick before we move on to your next jam. So Justin Charvona started off with Quasar in 1989, and then did Last Ninja 3 in 1991, where he did music conversion. I'm skipping around. I'm only going to mention a few things because he's done a bunch. He did the soundtracks to the first two Croc games, as well as the conversion on the what looks to be the Game Boy Color version, and he did a bunch of licensed stuff like iNinja. Well, not iNinja. iNinja was great. That was a really fun game. Malice in 2004, Catwoman in 2004. He did the music for Battalion Wars in 2005, as well as the sequel in 2007. His latest game was audio design for Art Academy in 2010, and MC Cisco, believe it or not, only has voice credits or vocal credits for this game, which is a shame.
That is a shame.
That is a darn shame.
All that talent just untapped.
Wasted. So much bucking that needed to be done elsewhere. So much bumbling.
Much bucking to bumble.
So much bumbling that needed to be done elsewhere.
Well, we do all the bumbling here on XVGM.
That's right. When we're not rumbling because of our,
bumbling.
Yeah, because of our booty problems.
That's right. Booty problems.
Gotta go to a gastro. Get those booty problems checked out there.
Right.
Anyways, it looks like we are getting a call on the caller request hotline, which is very strange because we weren't planning on taking any calls, but yeah. So let's go ahead and hit it, Janine. Transfer that call over to us, and we'll take it.
XVGM Radio, this is Justin. What can we do for you?
Yeah, hey Janine, it's Justin. I'm running a little late. Don't start without me.
I don't know who that was. Who was that?
That was really odd. I don't know. I don't recognize that voice at all.
No.
It's so weird.
It must have been a wrong number or something like that. Yeah, they said it was Justin.
I guess so.
But you're here.
At least he wasn't ordering pizza, you know? Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That always happens here on XVGM. Anyways, what track are you bringing us next, Justin?
I am really excited about this one. We are going to listen to MX Funiculi, also popularly known as the Pizza Theme, from Insomniac's Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Cool. And that was composed by Lolita Ritamanis and Larry Wrench, who did orchestrations. Looking forward to hearing it.
Welcome back to XVGM Radio. That was Spider-Man 2, the PS2 game that came out in 2004. I think I said that this was an Insomniac game earlier. I meant to say Activision. I've got insomnia on the brain. I feel like I'm losing minutes, hours, seconds, and sleep. So it's been a very, very weird day today. MX Funiculi, originally composed by Luigi Denza way back in the Italian days, and then orchestrated for this game by Lolita Ritmanis and Larry Wrench.
I have to say, Justin, I'm not a big fan of this tune, and maybe not for the reasons you would think. That there's some traumatic memories related to this particular song. Everybody knows this song. It's Funiculi Funicula is the original. Obviously, as everyone knows, written back in the 1800s to commemorate the first railway on Mount Vesuvius. It's it's common knowledge. It's perfectly serviceable as just kind of a silly mini game style tune in Spider-Man 2, but. Back when I was in school, I ran with this kind of silly group of friends. This was before I really got into the cool stuff like Castlevania, anime, and the stuff everybody loved that got me really popular. Yeah. My friends really liked VeggieTales, the Christian TV show. And, I'm a Jewish kid growing up in Connecticut. I don't know anything about VeggieTales, but I want to make my friends happy. So they decided they were going to do this song from VeggieTales in the school talent show. And of course, they looped me in. I don't know. It's something about a cucumber and a top hat. I don't know. It's a stupid song, but it was set to this tune. And I was supposed to play this big fat squash that comes in at the end of the skit and sits down on top of the hat. When I sat down, the seat broke. I was kind of a big kid, and I just fell down on the stage, and I just made a big fool of myself, my friends, in front of everybody, and I got called Big Fat Squash just for the rest of my middle school days. And every time I hear this song, I I just want to punch a gourd, you know. But yeah, it works well enough in the game, I guess.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I don't think I've ever heard that story before. Had I known, I probably would have picked a different minigame. It just it's so iconic. Like this game is fairly iconic as far as the Spider-Man games go, and I was just like,
yeah, the game is great.
Yeah, like what's something silly I can pull out of here?
I mean, you couldn't have known. I had to mute it every time this song came on. But
that's fair. That's fair.
I think I'd actually kind of buried the memory. That's why I never brought it up. Let's just not ever mention VeggieTales again on the show. It's too much.
That might be hard because we have a VeggieTales themed episode coming up sometime this year. So.
Oh no way. We got to get some nerd like who's really cheesy VGM podcast host. Somebody we could get. Maybe Bedroth from that the video game Very Good Music show.
Yeah.
Whatever that show he does with his kid. He might be into that.
That might be. I was going to say like we're all kind of corny, but I think Bedroth might be the perfect person for this.
He's the only in-podcast dad, I guess, if you don't count Ed, which who does? But so corniness comes with the territory.
This is very true. I don't think you can be as into video game music as we are without having a few funny little things going on in your head. But as we were saying earlier, this game, kind of iconic. I assume that you've played it?
Oh yeah, I love all the Spider-Man games. And this one was really good.
Yeah, if I remember
Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. Everybody knows.
I mean, there was never any question. But
yeah, this one was great. Do you have a lot of experience with this game?
I do. The odd part is I don't remember a lot of it because it's been I haven't touched a Spider-Man game literally since Spider-Man 2. I feel like they got so many of the mechanics perfect in this game. Like, seriously, if this is the game I'm remembering, this is like the perfect web swinging. Maybe only second to the newer Spider-Man on PS4 that was done by Insomniac. But
yeah,
I haven't played that one either, so I can't speak for it. But I do remember having a lot of fun just getting lost swinging through New York City.
Oh yeah, the web swinging was really top notch in this game. A cut above the Genesis Spider-Man, which I think was the first one I played. Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. That game was a lot of fun. Also a lot of grindy 40 cents in that game. But,
on a Genesis? No.
Twarmpy hurdy-gurdy.
Yeah. And there is one console where the hurdy-gurdy would sound right at home. So real quick, let's get into these two arrangers. I don't have any other video game information for the original composer, Luigi Denza, because he didn't technically do anything for video games. He created the original song. But Lolita Ritmanis started out with this game in 2004 doing orchestrations, went on to do composition in Ben 10 Alien Force 2008, and then is credited for music on Batman the Brave and the Bold, the video game in 2010, and Lego DC Supervillains in 2018. And then Larry Wrench started out in the first Spider-Man video game in 2002, based off the first Spider-Man Sam Raimi movie. Went on to do orchestrations in this one, as well as Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire in 2005, 007 Quantum of Solace in 2008 did orchestrations, Kinect Disneyland Adventures in 2011, everybody knows that game. And then finally, Batman Arkham Origins, as well as the expansions Cold Cold Heart and Blackgate Deluxe Edition in 2014.
Okay, so a lot of licensed stuff there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so what I've got coming up for us is You Are Dead, from the game Total Distortion. This was composed by Kent Carmichael and Joe Sparks.
Nice. And that came out, I think, on PC and Mac in 1995.
You are dead, dead, dead. You are dead, dead, dead.
Thought you were hot. Guess what? You're not.
You are dead, dead, dead.
You brought your whole adventure to a screeching halt.
You are dead, dead, dead.
Your heart has stopped and your brain is cold. You were so dead, and now your body is starting to mold. You were so dead. This dimension cuts like a knife.
You are dead, dead, dead.
What a pitiful waste of a human life.
You are dead, dead, dead.
Your heart has stopped and your brain is cold. You were so dead, and now your body is starting to mold. You were so dead. Aw, such a sad story. You're gone, empty head in the red. Game over, you're through. Gone. How does it feel to be dead? You are dead. Bye-bye, your history, you're through. You're dust. I hope you improve your lousy score. Adios, see you later, bye-bye. Try again. You are dead, dead, dead. 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 You are dead, dead, dead.
Hello there, I'm Ryu Hayabusa. You may know me from video games like Earthbound, Dance Dance Revolution, and Super Princess Peach. Well, I'm here to tell you about an all-new video game device I've created. It's called License Be Gone. Want to play a Ninja Turtles game, but you want the Thundercats as the heroes instead? Just whistle into the tip of License Be Gone. Disregard the fish smell, of course. And then, voila! No more Ninja Turtles. You can buy this wonderful product for only $599 US. Leave your giant enemy crabs at home for this one. Anyways, that's definitely all I had to say about this. Ninja out.
Hello there. Well, well, well. If it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
What? Hello there. Who are you?
I am the real Ryu Hayabusa?
Don't make me ninja cut you.
No, it's just an imposter. Get out of here. It's Slice. Don't make me ninja slice you. You pickled amateur. Don't make me ninja slice.
Foiled again. I'll get you next time, Ryu. Next time.
Whatever he just tried to sell you, I didn't endorse it. Ninja, out. For real this time.
All right, welcome back. That was You Are Dead, Dead, Dead from Total Distortion, the PC Mac game that came out in 1995. Kent Carmichael and Joe Sparks were the wonderful composers on this game. And I got to ask, Justin, what were your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I'm listening to this track, and I'm very much alive. And
no, you're dead.
And I still love it. And I still love it.
Hey, listen, you thought that you're hot. You're not. All right?
I think every game should have an ending theme like this. Or some kind of ending theme that's just like telling you how badly you failed, and make it like this was like 5 minutes long. This was no like quick little jingle, you're done. Like he was singing all about how you died, and I really loved it. And not just that, it's a really good song.
Yeah.
It really was. The instruments and then the saxophone.
Yeah, the
like, he was
sexy
like,
saxophone.
You're dead, you're dead, you're dead. You don't have enough points, you're dead. Someone walks in the room and is like, yo, saxophone solo. Like, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, I really thought that the whole thing was like this new wavy kind of 80s really fun track, and the lyrics are just goofy. And I agree with you that there really should be more games that have this type of song in it.
Isn't that a Souls thing? I don't play the Souls games, like Dark Souls, where it's just like, you have died, and it's like, you have died.
Yeah.
Died.
You should be forced to listen to a 3-minute song every time you die in Dark Souls about how bad you died. That's like it. There should be like an extreme mode of the Dark Souls where that happens.
Oh, what happens if you win? It's like, you have won.
No. You barely you won. There's no song. It's just a guy that pops up on the screen like the toasty guy in Mortal Kombat. And he's just like, you won. You won. What do you want, a medal? And then like it goes back to the game. This game, I guess you're a music video entrepreneur, in something called the Distortion Dimension, which is a place where you would fight guitar warriors in guitar battles, according to Wikipedia. The goal of the game is to get fame, points, make money, and film successful music videos. One of the other distinctive features of this game was something called sleep mode. Apparently, your character goes to sleep and you get a dream in a minigame. And if you flop on the minigame, then it ends up doing a nightmare instead of a dream. And then I guess like mental energy is a big important part of this game. So, yeah.
I'm watching gameplay of this thing, and it's so very 1990s, like multimedia CD-ROM. So I don't know how those stats come into play. I don't know. But like every game is like a weird mini game where you're just like clicking on things and the next thing happens. But it looks so weirdly dreamlike already. Yeah. That the fact that there's gameplay within a dream. Yeah. It reminds me like a whole lot of Hypnospace Outlaw. Where, have you heard of this one or seen this one at all? No. It takes place like in an alternate 1999. Okay. Where there's an internet that lives inside people's brains, like in space.
That's amazing.
In their dreams, and so these people actually go to sleep, and they're like cops. They're the policemen inside this internet dream world.
That's crazy.
It's awesome. You should listen to the soundtrack. At the least, listen to the soundtrack. It is one of the coolest soundtracks ever.
Nice. What's that called again?
It's called Hypnospace Outlaw.
Hypnospace Outlaw. Okay, I'll have to make a mental note for that. Interesting.
Jay Tholen is the composer on that one.
Justin bringing all the knowledge today.
Yeah, I mean. That's why they call me Justin, because I'm Justin here with some game knowledge.
That's it. That's right.
That's what they say, right?
Yeah. Well, that is what they say. I mean, when they're not calling you Gothface.
They say, be like a tree in Justin.
In Justin, right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, boy. All right. Anyway. Well, we'll talk about the composers, and then any last final thoughts that you have, we'll get to. The first composer, Kent Carmichael, only has audio for 2 games, RBI Baseball 3 in 1991 and this game, Total Distortion.
Oh, interesting. That's super interesting.
Yeah, and Joe Sparks for audio has 3 credits, Spaceship Warlock in 91, Creepy Castle in 91, and Total Distortion in 95. Everything else that he's done was just like production, design, programming, engineering, writing, art, etc., etc. So kind of a jack of all trades.
That's interesting. I always wonder, like some of these guys, especially in the 90s, if they had like their musical careers outside of games, it was like much greater. Maybe they did like production or worked in studios for other artists, and then like they worked on like 4 games. So all we know about them is like, oh, they worked on like 3 like edutainment titles. But the reality is like, oh, they played bass for Michael Jackson or something crazy like that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. You played me.
And their legacy is a bunch of like nerds like sitting in their basement being like, he only worked on this song called "You Are Dead."
Right. It's like all the other stuff that they would have been more famous for, like nobody cares about. Have you heard? Did you know that you did the "You Are Dead" song? Yeah. But I
stop talking about it.
But I also cured cancer. Like, come on.
No one's talking about the cancer.
Right.
Everyone talks about the "You Are Dead" song.
Exactly.
And it's like at his funeral, and like there's like the wake, and there's like a line. Yeah. Everyone's like giving condolences to like the guy's wife, and it's just playing this song.
Trying to. Everyone's trying to get autographs, but he's dead. So.
Yo, real talk though, this guy's alive. I'm not like this isn't total bad taste, is it?
I don't think so. No, I think it's.
I'm Justin, and Justin don't care.
That's true. Right. Justin don't care. That's true. That's very true. Any other final thoughts that you'd like to add before we move on to your next pick?
Oh no, it's just I want everyone to remember that my name is Justin.
Right.
And I like to talk smack about dead people.
Right. That fits.
Because they can't talk. They can't talk back.
I mean,
it's like they say, dead men don't tell Justin.
Right. That is something that they say. I mean, just based on the fact that, you're Gothface, that's your name, really kind of rings true to that. So I thank you for...
No, they got that mixed up. It's Garth. It's Garth.
Oh, Garthface. Oh, you know what? I must have misheard. So what does that mean? Like,
it was a whole thing. It was the 90s, and I was really, really into
Garth Brooks.
Saturday Night Live.
Garth Brooks.
I don't know enough about Garth Brooks to riff on that. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that's a
talking
shame.
about Dana Carvey. It's the big Dana Carvey fan.
Oh right,
and so I went to high school every day dressed up as Dana Carvey in his different roles that I knew him from.
Wayne's World, Party Time, excellent. Right, Got it. Okay, then. All right, let's move into your next pick. What do you got for us? What are you playing?
All right, our next track, we're going to listen to Crazy Chocobo from Final Fantasy 13 Part 2 for the PlayStation Part 3 and the Xbox Part 360 from 2011. Let's get it.
Cool.
And you're back. That was Final Fantasy 13-2, the PS3 and Xbox 360 release from 2011. The track was Crazy Chocobo, and it was composed originally by Nobuo Uematsu, and this cover was done by Shooty HG, also known as Sean McPherson.
Very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed the nuances of this track. I've never heard the Chocobo theme sound so dynamic. Now, I did read somewhere that Nobuo Uematsu, like this was his original vision for the song when he first composed the Chocobo theme, but like the sound just didn't exist at the time.
You know, I would give that credence. that is to say, Nobuo Uematsu is known for liking metal and a lot of heavy rock, and a lot of those influences come in with the Black Mage's stuff and what's the other one, Earthbound Papas. So, I mean, you might be joking, Mike, but I would believe you, because that's just the type of guy he is.
And I would know, because I was a roadie for Limp Bizkit for at least 3 years in 2010. Yeah. So, yeah, me and Fred Durst got really close, and then he let me know that like he was really into Final Fantasy when he was a kid, and I helped him write a few songs. Just saying. I'm not trying to drop any names here, but yeah, me and Fred Durst, Gwen Stefani, and then Ja Rule, we used to hang out like all the time at the MTV Beach House.
That's really cool. Did MTV Cribs ever do an episode on you?
Not on me, but like if you want to talk about like my best friend, 50 Cent. He was on the show.
Air Marshal 50 Cent? Wow.
Yeah, I was big in the mid 2000s. But we're talking about Final Fantasy here, right?
Right. I mean, chocobos and stuff. I mean, this track was just so. I mean, I'm not too big on metal. I like enough metal, but this was like super heavy and super funny. Like I don't know about you, but I was dying halfway through these lyrics.
Do you happen to have the lyrics open still?
I do.
Okay, can we just like read together like a little back and forth? I'll start. All right. Gas him up with the greens and let him go.
Stand back, stand clear as he puts on a show.
So cute yet fierce. Is he from hell?
I cannot tell, yet I don't even want to know.
Yeah, that's where it kind of falls apart here lyrically.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to be a trailblazer.
Kicking dirt like a hellraiser?
Take the reins, but don't react slow.
It's time to feel the force of the chocobo.
See, and then he brings it back, and that is classic Fred Durst. You know, you think he's gonna lose it in the middle, and then lyrically, it's that's this.
Oh man, it's funny because the lyrics, or at least the way that they're delivered, definitely had kind of a Limp Bizkit-y type feel. Like I think you were saying during the break, give me something to break, give me something to ride.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But so wild. I've never heard the Chocobo theme this intense.
Now, do you know the context of this at all? Like, I know there's always like Chocobo Racing and Chocobo mini games and all of the Final Fantasies, but I don't know anything about 13 Part 2.
Yeah,
let alone the Chocobo portion of it and why it's this hard. Why they went this hard on the song.
I don't. I wish I did. I've heard so many bad things about the 13 games, Lightning Returns, 13-2 and 13. I have 13 and I think Lightning Returns, but I have not touched either of them. Because my plan is to eventually just like run through all the Final Fantasies, but every time I think about it, it's too much.
It's just kind of like you start to fall to pieces.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I totally get it. I stopped at 10, and I just played 10 over and over again. So.
I mean, that's fair. 10 is definitely really good, and I know we have a lot of friends that really like 10 as well.
Yeah, 10 and 10 too. I like them both very, very much. But 10 is my heart game. So yeah, I liked it. I like this one a lot. I wished I could play guitar so that I could just write more Chocobo theme songs.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a little. We can do a little rhyme back and forth.
Okay.
Okay. Chocobo so fast on his feet.
Never know what he wants to eat.
When he gets on the street, he gonna get beat.
But only if he's not yet elite.
And when he likes bread, he likes whole wheat.
If you give him whiskey, you better bring it neat.
Step off of him, he knows that you cheat.
If you got a lot of them, then you got a fleet.
Oh, there you go. Oh, clever. I like that. And that's the kind of educational entertainment that you get on XVGM radio.
Every day you learn something new, and if you don't, you're not listening to XVGM radio. But real quick, let me just cover this Sean McPherson person, also known as Shooty HG.
I'd like to learn more about this character.
Yeah. Started out in 2005 with Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening, doing the theme song, Devils Never Cry. Specifically, he's credited for the lyrics, so...
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Dead Rising 2006, he did Fly Routine. He produced that track. He also wrote lyrics in 2008 for Devil May Cry 4, Sword Through Swords. And then the rest of these are actually either just Devil May Cry repeats for that Devil Never Cry lyrics, Demon's Score in 2012 for Demon's Score theme, and then this game, Final Fantasy 13-2, he's listed as an arranger.
Okay, awesome. If you want to get a picture of a dude trying to look hardcore with white dreadlocks, just look him up online.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it all tracks. It all tracks.
This picture's pretty funny. I think it's meant to be funny. I hope it's meant to be funny.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed the song. This is the number one I put on before bed every night, and I wanted to share it with the listeners.
Nice. I'm glad I could play something that you find calming and soothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we move into the next track, Janine's telling me we've got another caller coming in.
Yeah, actually, I can hear some buzzing going on in my ear here. We got XVGM radio. Do you have a request for us?
Guys, it's me. No, that's not me on the line.
No, I'm not hearing anything, Justin.
Yeah.
Justin, back to you.
Yeah, no, this is confusing. I've never seen this happen this often. Someone's calling in claiming to be one of, I don't know, I think Janine hung up on him. We're getting prank calls. It's April Fool's Day. What do you expect?
You know what? That wasn't anybody. Don't even pay it any mind, Justin. Don't even pay it any mind.
Mind not paid. All right, so what do we got coming up next here?
Oh, coming up next, we have Zombies on Your Lawn from Plants vs. Zombies for the PlayStation 3, the Xbox 360, composed by Laura Shigehara.
Nice.
the brains, we don't like zombies.
I used to play football.
Protons protect my head.
I have a screen door shield. We are the undead.
There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on our lawn. Maybe it's time to reevaluate. I know you have a lot of food on your plate. Brains are quite rich in cholesterol. You're dead, so it doesn't matter. Instead, we'll use the solar power to make a lawn defense at any hour.
I like a tricycle. There's butter on my head. I'm gonna eat your brain. We are the undead.
There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. There's a zombie on your lawn. We don't want zombies on our lawn.
All right, you are back. That was Plants vs. Zombies. This track, Zombie on Your Lawn. And that was on the PS3 and the 360 in 2011. The soundtrack was composed by Laura Shigehara. I got to get your thoughts on this one, Justin.
I honestly, if anything, I am so happy, so happy that caller submitted this song, because I got to tell you something. I've been keeping a secret from you, buddy.
Okay.
I love Laura Shigehara. I mean, love her.
Yeah?
She is the absolute best. I keep track of everything she does.
Wow.
All of her works.
That's a little
She's
scary.
amazing.
All right.
Did you know that she did music for Portal 2 at one point as well?
I didn't know that. No, we haven't actually gotten to her.
Did you know? No. Did you know?
Yeah.
She also did music for Skyward Sword, Legend of Zelda?
That I did not know.
Did you know? Did you know she's got a limited edition Funko Pop that they only made 1,000 of? And I've got one. Don't tell the missus though, because she can't know. She can't know.
I've got her on speed dial. Don't worry, she'll know soon.
Oh no! Don't tell her, man. I mean, you can't tell her about the Shigehara Shrine. You absolutely can't. Crap! I shouldn't have told you about the Shigehara
boy.
Shrine. The important part is, Plants vs. Zombies is a really fun game, isn't it?
Yeah. I've only played it once, truth be told, but I did enjoy what I played. I don't know where the song plays, though, in the game.
Oh, wow. Man, let me tell you, Shigehara really brings it home on this one, you see. They don't even need a specific place in the game for it to play. It plays at the beginning. It sets the mood for the entire experience.
Oh, you know
and
what?
It would be no better than how it is now.
I think
Shigehara's vocals, they're so dreamy. Her voice just melts you like drawn butter. It's so
Her
great.
voice?
I
Oh, is
gotta
this
tell
her
you.
voice? I don't even know. Is this actually her voice?
This is her voice.
Oh, okay.
She's trying to be a sunflower, but the joke's on the sunflower because she's the real Radiant Beatty.
Wait, so is
Real
she?
beast.
Is she also the zombies too?
No, well, that's what her haters would want you to think.
Oh, okay.
They want to vilify her. They want to muck up her elegant sound.
Sure.
By saying that she would be cast as a malignant undead.
Right.
The hell out of here with that. Let me tell you something about Laura Shigehara. She cooks for orphans 3 times a year down at the old soup house. And she does it like nobody else. She sings to them. She caresses their souls with the elegance of her dulcet tones.
All right, so I have
She lets them know that the world may have failed them.
So I have a
But Laura
question.
Shigehara has
Wait.
not.
Okay, Justin. So I have a question. What about the dolphin?
The dolphin, well, that was also kind of inspired by her because in her spare time when she's not beating the kids and singing wonderful, wonderful songs for fantastic games, she's also working at, dolphin hatcheries. She spends also time there. She sends a portion of all of her proceeds to SeaWorld.
Okay. You know, that makes sense.
For the purpose of dolphins. And she keeps track. If it goes to whales, she ain't having it.
No.
Her money is solely for the dolphins.
You gotta support the dolphins, especially in this day and age. Yeah.
In this day and age, they're so vilified. You know.
Well,
no,
I mean, you know,
she knows the truth.
She's making all of her money from Dunk Lords, which came out in 2020. She did the music on that. That's the newest game that she's put a soundtrack out for. I think she also redid the music for Super Meat Boy in 2015 because Danny Baranowski did the original score, but I believe that was replaced with Laura's soundtrack for later versions of the game.
Yeah, and most people had a lot of gripes about that. A lot of gripes because
I remember
the whole thing was like Danny Baranowski, he's the soul of Meat Boy, yada yada yada. And of course, originally I was on board for that too.
Sure.
And I figured
that's before you became a mega fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when I learned that
the truth.
Horror baby.
Yeah.
She put to the beat. She put down. She came through for the fans. She heard that there was a rift in the Meat Boy verse.
Right.
And she came out and said, "Not on my watch, baby."
So I always thought that Meat Boy was the heart and soul of Meat Boy.
No.
No?
Don't fool yourself.
Don't fool.
It's wherever Shikihara goes. That's
Okay.
where the soul goes. And she went for that actual cover track.
So
she covered for like one of the regions in the game.
So does she bring Meat Boy's essence into other games then? Because she also did a song on Finding Paradise in 2017.
Yes, because fun fact, whatever she touches becomes a part of her forever.
Kind of like
vice versa.
Kind of like Meat Boy when, you know, like some of his meat falls off him, he can kind of like absorb it back, right?
Exactly like that. It's like meatmosis.
Right, meatmosis. Right. That's right. Absolutely 100% true. Well, you know, this is some factual information. We've learned so much about you, Justin, throughout this episode. And me.
Don't tell my wife.
And me. Yeah. No, of course. I won't.
She'll kill me.
I will.
And then she'll kill you.
I will. Yeah, she will kill me. That's true. Yeah. Anyways.
Very true.
Plants vs. Zombies. What more can you say about the game? It's Plants vs. Zombies. It's a tower defense game. It's a fairly casual game, but it's a lot of fun if you're looking for something silly and fun to play. That's not.
If you're not looking for silly and fun, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Do it.
Do it or you're nothing. I'm a big fan of the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera aspects of this song. It's just so lighthearted and fun, like late 90s. Love the little like record scratches thrown in there.
It lights a fire in your belly.
Yeah.
It tells you everything's going to be all right. That one zombie, when he comes out and says he's going to eat your brains, you're supposed to feel a little disjointed there.
Yeah.
But then, no.
Yeah.
Then Laura says there's a zombie on your lawn, and then she just lets you know everything's going to be all right because she told you.
It really tickles the grundle, like for sure. I mean,
absolutely does.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyways, let's move into your next pick. What do you got for us? What are you playing?
Well, I'm playing Balls.
Okay.
Balls being the title screen and you being winner from the game Balls.
Okay.
Composed by Mark Miller and Jason Scheer.
Cool. All right, let's hit it.
I love you, Laura.
Oi. 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 Right.
Welcome back. We are almost done with this April Fool's Day Silly Songs episode. That was Balls, also known as Balls 3D, Fighting at its Ballsiest. Came out in the SNES and the Genesis in 1994. This was specifically the SNES version. The Genesis is a bit different. The track was Title Screens Menus Winner, and it was by Neuromantic Productions, specifically Mark Miller and Jason Schur. Mike, I feel like this has a lot of your favorite staples in it, but I'm curious as to how you feel about the song.
Well, it's actually surprisingly, it gave me a little bit of a nostalgia hit, if you will. You see, so some might find themselves thinking, this is a little bit of on the weird side. This might be a little odd. Maybe you don't want to, not a track you want to have your kids listening to. But see, I'm a little different. This actually called back to a short stint I had in life where I had this desire to try to do like music composition for porno movies. But here's the rub. I wanted to bring a video game edge to the porno scene, you see. Okay. I wanted people to get down to business, to blips and bloops. I wanted people to get down to Yuzo Koshiro beats. I wanted people to throw down to Tim Fallon, if you know what I'm saying. And
like chiptune
I feel
specifically?
like, yes, like some people talk about Yuzo Koshiro, they want to hear his music in the nightclubs and stuff like that. I was a little different. I'm a forward thinker. How much more money could we get for the scene if we could have music playing from video game favorites during the hottest scenes in the industry? It kind of sounds a little bit like this, actually. That's the funny thing about it. Like, I mean, wouldn't you say that what you just heard was fairly upper echelon VGM music? I'm talking top of the pops.
I would say this is like the cream. It rises to the top.
Yes, right? Now mine would boil over.
So something about this game, I know that you are Mike Tendo, but you've been trying to get me into Genesis and whatnot, and this is one, I heard the Genesis version. I don't remember it that well, but I chose to play this one because I thought it would be more fun. But I believe you've played the Genesis version of this, right?
Yes, so back in the day, I had access to this game through Sega Channel, means. And on the Sega Channel, there was access to the game Balls on the Genesis. And I played it there. And the funny thing about it is, like, maybe those sound effects were there, but for the life of me, I cannot remember them.
Well, so that's the thing. They weren't. Like, I remember listening to that one and being like, oh, this is a cool song. And I listened to the Genesis version and was like, where did all these sounds? I mean, it's so weird because, like, I think the background music is the same, but there's none of the, like, hurt or any of that other stuff.
Yeah, they lost the most important part. They lost the vibrance, the energy.
The energy, yes.
The youthfulness. I didn't even know it was there. Now that I know the truth, what I just listened to, the Genesis was robbed, man.
I agree. We covered one of the tracks from this game back in episode 69. We talked a little bit about it being...
It was the episode 69.
Yes. But the gameplay itself was interesting. Like, it's a weird fighting game where every character is made up of balls, right?
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, honestly, like, don't get me wrong, I didn't go out of my way to buy it or anything, but when I played it on Sega Channel, I remembered having fun with the game. Like, I don't think it deserves to get, like, panned per se, but back then, there were a surprising number of developers who didn't want to go too far out because the easy money was in mascots and, like, you know, just easy, like, just platformers. I feel like Balls was just, like, a weird take on, like, a concept. Like, you know, we can design character graphics by just linking balls together, like three-dimensional balls together. That's a game, right? Like, well, you know, maybe it is. Maybe it'll be interesting at least to try out.
Yeah.
And there was even a surprise amount of personality because from what I remember, and if I'm wrong, I'm sure a listener will correct me on this, but I want to say some of the moves had the balls like shape into different things too. So like a player who's punching and they wanted their fist to be like a wrecking ball was kind of like shaped like a wrecking ball or something like that. Balls.
Yes, balls. So just to touch on these composers, first off, Neuromantic Productions is a production company that was started in 1992 by Mark Miller. It lasted until 1995. They were actually the creators of Gems, I believe, the program responsible for Sega of America's music and a lot of the Genesis music. The group started out doing music for Kid Chameleon on the Genesis in 1992.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
That's to me, Kid Chameleon is a very underrated OST. Very underrated OST. I still bop it on a regular basis.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I don't know if I've heard any of the music, but I do know that I have to check it out. But their last game was X-Men 2 Clone Wars on the Genesis. So from Neuromantic Productions, the two people that worked on this were Mark Miller and Jason Schur. Mark Miller, super famous, huge resume.
Going to Sin City?
Yeah. I mean, started out Toe Jam and Earl in 1991, and I'm not going to go through everything because it's too huge. I mean, Daffy Duck, The Marvin Missions, I know I've played tracks from that before in 1993, but most recently he did original music in Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour in 2000. And then Jason Schur started out doing sound effects in Sewer Sharks in 1992, did music in Chakan in 1992, Pink Goes to Hollywood in 93, and their last credit is this game, Balls 3D, Fighting His Ballsiest. So,
it almost sounds like the balls killed his career.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I would have hired him after this. This was great.
You and me both. I don't know what they're missing.
But yeah, well, let's wrap this shebang up. Mike, what do you have for our final track?
This comes from the game Final Fight Streetwise on the PlayStation 2. The track title is called Superfly Teenage Girls, composed by Brad Foxk.
All right, and that came out in 2006. Let's give it a listen.
Young lady, turn that music down. Just where do you think you're going? Out. Oh, really? And what do you think you're going to be doing?
Does this sound familiar? Does your mother sound like a screeching RPM bell? Well, tell Mom not to get her pennies in a twist. And listen to this.
Welcome back to XVGM Radio. That was our final pick of this funny and fun song-themed focused episode. That was Final Fight Streetwise. Came out on the PS2 in 2006. The track was Superfly Teenage Girls, and it was composed by Brad Foch. and Stymie and the Pimp Jones Love Orchestra.
Yes. What did you think of that one, Mike?
Well, I mean, I picked it, so obviously I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I'm a fan of ska.
Okay.
So if you couldn't tell, this was a very ska pick it up track.
Yeah.
It just the trumpets and Stymie and the Pimp Jones Love Orchestra definitely had a lot of fun with this one. You can tell kind of just in the way that the music kind of flows and gets you wanting to get out there and start skanking on the floor. and those vocals there, I mean, I almost could have mistaken this for Real Big Fish.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. With the horn section, the energetic vocals and everything. I mean, if it wasn't, Real Big Fish is a bunch of white dudes for the most part. I think
True.
I think some of their horn section is some black people, but yeah, it's mostly like white people.
Yeah.
Man, how about that skit in the beginning? Great, right?
Oh, it was
hilarious.
It was very hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been wondering where we were going with that, but this track. I mean, do you know where this plays in the game?
Indeed, I do. This plays apparently during the cockroach stomping minigame section. Yeah, so I think that makes it even funnier.
Yeah.
The idea of just like crunching cockroaches to this song is just so wacky and ridiculous. So lyrically, not as goofy as some of the other stuff that we played today, aside from that intro skit. But, I think the fact that it plays during a cockroach stomping section of the minigame and in the game is really what drives the humor level up.
Yeah, I would say it definitely makes it funnier because it feels, not that it feels out of place, but it almost seems out of place. Like if this is getting ready to go stomping some cockroaches and it starts with this like fight between a girl and her mom.
Yeah.
It's just like all this stuff like, oh, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm getting out of here, and then just like,
go
we're gonna
stomp some cockroaches. Yeah.
Kill all these cockroaches.
Right. So Brad didn't have anything to do with this one specifically, but Stymie and the Pimp Jones Love Orchestra, this was all them.
Right. So they were doing everything that you hear here.
Indeed, you hear here. Yeah.
Brad did the music, the composition for the rest of the game.
Right.
Outside of this. Potentially licensed, hopefully not. We'll find out if we get sued.
Yeah,
Track.
pretty much. Hey, we're going to roll the dice on this one.
Yeah.
So
we don't do that very often, but
yeah,
for April Fool's Day and for our listeners, it's worth it.
Oh, man, but this was so much fun to do this episode. It was so great. I mean, aside from those two weird hiccups with the callers, that was bizarre.
I mean, Janine says that they were probably just pranks. It's April Fool's Day. What do you expect? Somebody's gonna call in. It might have been Brian. I know he likes to just like call people randomly and be like, I killed my wife. Dude, I didn't kill my wife. I killed my wife. I killed my wife.
Right.
Murder
That's so
me.
Brian.
So,
Yeah.
Now that I think of it, they both might have been Brian.
That's a very large possibility. Yeah. Speaking of Brian, he was on our last live show.
Yeah, that we did in February.
Yeah. Now is the time of the show where we
pick our favorites.
Yeah.
And as usual, Justin, what is your top picks of this show?
This is tough. I think, because I love that Battle Block Theater track.
Right. There's
That's
so many.
a secret. Yeah, I love that. I also really love the Plants vs. Zombies track. That's great, too.
You know what? I propose we do something slightly different.
Okay.
I think we should pick our favorite overall, like just legitimately, what was your favorite track that we played? And then, separately, what is the one that made you laugh the most? What is the funniest track?
Okay.
What is the fooliest track of the night?
Okay. I would say the Battle Block Theater was definitely the funniest for me. Really made me bust a gut. I was definitely legit laughing out loud at Plants vs. Zombies as well. Song I enjoyed the most? I think my Balls track was probably my favorite track musically of this. It had a good groove to it.
All right.
I was really digging that. Right. And then, of course, all the porn sound effects that I'm such a big fan of.
Oh, yes.
Right.
As we all know.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Right.
Let's see. For me, I agree. It's definitely a tough one. I mean, Noodles Can't Be Beat. It's in the track. Noodles Can't Be Beat.
Sure.
But the Battle Block Theater was also really fun. I also just didn't really expect that Final Fantasy 13-2 Crazy Chocobo track to be as funny as it was with those lyrics.
I've totally, you know what? I'm going to change my answer.
Yeah?
Music-wise, hands down, definitely that Final Fantasy track.
Crazy Chocobo?
Yeah, that was my favorite track musically.
Okay.
I'll go with Battle Block as the funniest. Yeah.
Yeah. See that's what I'm torn between Battle Block and Final Fantasy for funniest right now. So I think I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Battle Block Theater for funniest, and I think for favorite just overall track of the night, I think I got to go with my Final Fight Streetwise track.
Okay.
Just the musicality was all there. It was very bright. It was very cheery. I mean, I think I normally might go with the really heavy metal Final Fantasy track, but the energy that that Stymie and the Pimp Jones Love Orchestra brought was just right what I needed. Exactly what I needed. You know?
Yeah. What were your favorite picks of this show? Let us know down in, I don't know, something. Social media, smoke signals.
Discord's in there somewhere.
Email. You got it.
Send a letter to Justin's house.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's do it. So we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons, without whom this show's continued improvement would be impossible. They are Alex Messenger, Cam Worma, Chris Hart, Dan Lawton, Jordan and Anson Davis, Rage Cage, Kung Fu Carlito of the Heroes 3 podcast, Scott McElhone, Chris Myers, The Autistic Gamer 89, Bedroth, Brad Austin, Chris Murray, Llama Adam, Marcus Stewart, Nathan Cooper, Nick Davis, and Ryan McPherson.
If you would like to become a patron, you can sign up at patreon.com/xvgmradio. There you can see the different tiers as well. Just $1 gets you a thank you at the end of the show and access to our monthly live shows.
You can visit our website, xvgmradio.com, where you can listen to all the episodes and learn more about your hosts, as well as any of our guests or composers that we've had on the show.
If you'd like to reach out to us, you can always email us at xvgmradio@gmail.com.
If you've liked what you've heard, please consider giving us a review on iTunes.
You can join our Facebook group and chat with other VGM lovers at facebook.com/groups/xvgmradio, where we talk about everything from current game news to sharing awesome VGM tracks or just talking about the podcast itself.
You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle on both of those sites is @xvgmradio.
If you don't have any other social media or just want to try something unique, check us out on our Discord group chat. Links will be in the show notes. All right. In 1 month, we are coming back. Justin, what are we coming back with?
Well, we are being joined by Aaron Hickman, also known as Daya, or Dia? Daya. I think it's Daya.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know either.
Yeah, and he is a VGM composer and also just a chiptune artist, and he is bringing us the best and worst of the Sega Genesis GEMS driver music. So we're going to be focusing exclusively on the GEMS driver. We're going to pick tracks that we love, we're going to pick tracks that we hate or dislike, and talk about them. I think it's going to be a really fun episode. This was originally supposed to be the March episode, but unfortunately we had a ton of scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, but we both just got real busy out of nowhere.
Crazy busy, yeah, which is why we were only able to put out this episode on April Fool's and, of course, the March live show.
Yep.
Right. So that's what we got going on.
Cool. Well, that's going to be a really fun show. I know we're going to feature some tracks that weren't so great, and we're going to laugh about them. And then we're gonna play some really strong stuff because GEMS gets a lot of flack, I think.
Sure.
But there are definitely some good things out there, and I mean not just from Mark Miller's Neuromantic Productions.
Right.
I mean they invented it, so of course they're gonna have some of the best stuff on there. But some other people got it right too. So we will hear all of that and more in 1 month. But for now, this is Mike
and Justin
signing off for XVGM Radio. Nice. I'm glad I could play something that you find calming and soothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you got up next for us, Mike?
Caller.
Oh, right. Thank you. It's right there too, caller.
You know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I do. There's only so much we're allowed to talk about on a family show, but I know where you're going, and I see the connection. Now,
the connection is bowls.
I mean, it is. It's absolutely this game.
No, I mean bowls.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Gotta keep it subtle, yet also quite frank.
Frank indeed. That is definitely the word that I would have used.
Frank and bowls. And
back and forth.
Okay.
Okay. So, Chocobo so fast on his feet.
Are you reading, or are we?
No,
just,
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
Oh, okay. No, I was like, so if I need to read, I need to read. If I don't, I need to turn my brain on. So.
It sounds like a legitimate like Chocobo song, like we just heard. So
yeah,
all right, Chocobo so fast on his feet.
Never know what he wants to eat.
When he gets on the street, he gonna get beat. But, right out of words.
No, but only if he's not yet elite.
And when he likes bread, he likes whole wheat.
If you give him whiskey, you better bring it neat.
Step off of him. He knows that you cheat. It's so hard. You have to like turn your brain off and on at the same time.
Yes. If you got a lot of them, then you got a fleet.
Oh, there you go. Oh, clever. I like that. And that's the kind of educational entertainment that you get on XVGM radio.